Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the DKS. This is their part number SBA-438. This is a video about a bolt, is what it is. It's just, sometimes it's really handy to see what it looks like, and the reason I'm making this video is because there's a client who says, I'm just not getting it, I need to see it. Well, here it is. So a sleeve anchor is a really common piece of equipment that we use in the hollow metal door industry, and it's a sleeve anchor because there's a sleeve that goes over this bolt that's here, threads that conical shaped bolt, and what happens is that's 3/8 that size. It's also a number 24. If you were to need some wood screws, you'd order a number 24, by the way. When you dimple your jam for this and you countersink it, you'll dimple it. A 3/4 countersink works pretty good, but you'll want to dimple the frame. The point of the matter is, once you've got the frame dimpled or countersunk, you want to dimple it. Countersinking, it's not going to work because it will leave very little wall thickness. So dimpling it and then cleaning it out with a good size countersink. And once you tighten that down, it's going to force the component of the sleeves to spline out. There are 3 components to this, so it'll flay out is what it'll do as you tighten that down, and that's what increases in diameter as you tighten it down with a number 3 Phillips, is how this works. So this is a 4-inch, and being flathead, that's going to be a reference to the overall length, and it is 3/8 of an inch. You're going to drill a 3/8 hole. Now let's talk about where people are going to use these specifically, and maybe where they wouldn't use them. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. So where you're going to use this, and we've sold these countless times, for hollow metal frames that are welded to one piece that the client is going to slide into the opening, get it in position, make sure the frame is ready to be true plumb level and square, mark the hole locations in the wall, pull the frame out, drill the wall for the anchors, slide it back in, anchors go in, and you start tightening down. These are commonly available in 4-inch, 5-inch, and 6-inch. You might be able to get 3-inch, but it's going to go to 1/4-inch diameter at that point. There aren't longer than 6-inch. Now, in the hollow metal business, you typically have a 2-inch wide face with a 5/8 stop, so that's 2 5/8. So if that was 2 5/8, you're only going to have 1 3/8 of this left over into the wall, and you still haven't subtracted the space between the wall and the back side of the frame, which could be a 1/4 inch, could be anything. So 4-inch is not the right size usually. Yeah, 6-inch is the common size that we would sell standard, but sometimes a door installer says, hey, that 6-inch is no good. Well, why is it no good? Well, in cement block, by the time that you've drilled the hole into the side of the cement block, 6-inch less 2 5/8 is going to be 3 3/8. The bolt is so long that it goes through the sidewall of the block into the hollow space. So that's no good. So sometimes clients will say, you know what, I know 6-inch is no good. I've already made a discovery hole. They've already probed into the block and know exactly how much thickness on the block there is, or whether or not it's been pumped full of mortar. And they might say, I have to have 5-inch, or I need 12-inch, or I need 9-inch. Well, those don't exist. Except they can exist, and we don't normally do this, and I haven't made it in years. But if I took a number of these components, or 6-inch, I could weld these pieces together, and we have in the past, where we've made 10-inch sleeve anchors. It's very expensive to do that, but the client may occasionally request that because they know that's where there's going to be solid concrete for them to go into. Because cement block is porous, it will crumble. You've got to go into something solid, and it's not ideal to use a sleeve anchor in lots of instances, but they are used because the guys who sell the doors and frames aren't really the guys that are responsible for installing it, so our perspective is less acute than the installer's is in terms of what's the right bolt. So be mindful of how we approach what the correct length bolt is and whether or not it is an appropriate approach for your wall application. Now, if you have precast, this is great. Solid cement that you're going to drill and get that hammered into and then start tightening it down. This is going to work probably pretty good. Face brick, yeah, face brick's a little brittle, but you should be able to get that in there. If you've got block that's been pumped solid like in Florida with rebar, this probably could work really well. But be mindful, it's really not the best anchor in every situation. And the trouble with sleeve anchors is if you blow the installation somehow, these don't come back apart. It's not just loosening it and then getting, it pushed back. It's not going to work that way because there's no way to recollapse these parts once they have flayed out like that. Some customers would want 4 holes per jam because they know they're going to screw one of the 4 up, and then they'll have 3 good mounting points. Sometimes guys will also want holes up into the header as well. Unusual, but it can be done. And when it comes to things like this, 3/8, you can do sleeve anchors. You could do like a number 24x6. That would be a wood anchor if you know you're going into a wood backer. Also 3/8 by 16 or 24 machine screws if you're going to drill and tap into some sort of steel. Right now, if you have any questions on the DKS SBA-438 sleeve, bolt anchor, or any other DKS product, please feel free to reach out to us. There's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can explore all of the DKS products that we sell. Thank you. Thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.